Hey, how's it going everyone? MLT Magic Tricks here. So today I'm going to be giving you a performance and tutorial for this really cool card trick that is definitely going to impress your spectators. So I would start this one off just by giving the deck a few cuts, mixing up the pack. From here, I would have my spectator make a selection. I am just going to be showing you the card for the trick. Once my spectator has remembered their card, I would tell them we're going to place it face down on top of the deck and just cut it into the middle of the pack. So now we have their card lost into the deck. I'll give the pack a quick mix up here just by bringing some cards to the top and bottom. I will also give the cards a few cuts in half like this, and we'll go ahead and give the deck one final cut. From here, I am going to give my spectator some instructions. So I'm first going to demonstrate what they're going to be doing with the deck. I would tell them they're first going to cut around a third of the deck or so right here, turn these cards face up, and then cut even farther into the deck, let's say right about here, turn all of these cards face up, and then I would have them spread to the first face down card. I would tell them to turn it face up, and then I would instruct them to deal this amount of cards onto the table, and I would make sure they deal the final card face up. So they would go 1, 2, 3, and then hopefully when they do this, this card that they turn face up will be their selection. So from here, I would hand the deck over to my spectator and have them do this. They're first cutting around a third of the deck. They're cutting even deeper into the pack, turning all these cards face up. I would have them spread to the first face down card. They're turning it face up. In this case, we have a 6. My spectator would deal 6 cards and turn the last one face up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. You can see the 6th card is the 10 of hearts. Hopefully my spectator's selection. So guys, that is the card trick. I hope you liked it. If you want to learn how to perform it, make sure you watch the tutorial. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed that performance. This is an excellent card trick that you should definitely learn. Credit to the Gaft Academy for this one. Grab your deck of cards, guys, and let's get right into the tutorial. So there is a small setup that you're going to need to make. You're first going to take out any card you want and make it a crimp card. In this case, I chose the Joker. To make the crimp, you're going to want to take your thumb, pointer, and middle finger from both your hands, apply pressure in the middle, and drag outwards to the corners a few times. If you have never used this type of card before, I recommend just giving the card a little bend in half like that to make the crimp. Once you have done that, you're then going to take out 2 low valued number cards. In this case, I chose a 3 and a 6. You can also take out a 2 and a 5 or like a 4 and a 7. For the lowest value card here, in this case, the 3, you're going to take out the exact amount of cards that matches this value. So I have 3 random cards here that are going to go right on top of this 3. For your second valued card, the one that's higher than the other one, you're going to take out 1 less than the actual value here. So this is 6. I have exactly 5 random cards that are going right on top. If this was a 7, you would take out 6 cards and place them on top. So here is how you're going to make the setup. You're going to, at the bottom of the deck, going to first place in the crimp, then your packet that has the lower value card here, in this case my 3, followed by the 3 random cards, and then my 6, followed by the 5 random cards on top. Once you have done that, you are good to go. This is how the setup is going to look on the bottom. Once you have got this packet of cards there, you are ready to begin the trick. You can go up to your spectator, give the deck a false cut or 2 if you want. I'll leave a link on the screen right now to me giving a tutorial on some false cuts if you want to learn them, but they are not mandatory for the trick. You just need to keep your setup there on the bottom, and you can see this natural break that I have in the deck from the crimp card. This is going to be very important, later in the trick. From here, you're going to have your spectator choose a card. Make sure they do not choose one of the cards there that's a part of your setup on the bottom. So just spread out the top portion here, have them make a selection. While you're performing this trick, you're just going to have your spectator look at it. But for the tutorial, we'll look at it together. In this case, we have the Queen of Diamonds. So after your spectator has remembered the card, tell them to place it face down on top of the deck, and you're just going to give the deck a cut, so you're losing their selection into the middle of the deck. From here, you have a few options as to what you want to do. In the performance, I gave the deck this false kind of shuffle. It really makes it seem like you're mixing up the deck, but in reality, you're keeping the order of cards that you need for the trick to work. So I'll demonstrate how that false shuffle works. You're essentially just spreading cards from the top of the deck and you're doing the same thing on the bottom and placing the cards from the bottom right on top, just like that. And you're going to be alternating as you do this until you go through the entire deck. So in slow motion, this is how it looks. You know, it's convincing to your spectator that you're mixing up the cards, but in reality, you are not disturbing the order. So you can do that if you want. You don't have to, but I do recommend you give the deck some cuts just right in half, because this is also not going to disturb the order of cards that you need for the trick to work. So you can give the deck a few cuts, but the last thing you're going to want to do is cut the deck right at your crimp. So you can see here, I have my natural bend in the deck right about in the middle here. So you can see my joker is separating the deck there. The last cut you're going to want to do is going to get your crimp card to the bottom of the pack. So you can see when I cut into the deck here at the natural break, it's going to go right to where, you know, the crimp card is. And what you're going to want to do is cut the deck at that point. You can give it, you know, a one-handed cut if you want to get that crimp card to the bottom, or you can simply just lift up the deck and then give the pack a cut in half right at that point. So your crimp card is now on the bottom of the deck, and at this point, you are ready to proceed. You're essentially here going to be giving your spectator instructions on what they're going to do. So you're going to tell them they would cut around a third of the deck. At this point, guys, the deck is in your hands and you're going to be doing this. You're giving them the demonstration. So this is essentially the cut deeper force. You're telling them, okay, you're going to cut around a third of the pack, turn these cards face up, and then you're going to tell them to cut even deeper into the cards, turn all those face up, spread out to the first face down card. And you still have the deck in your hands at this point. You're going to take these face up ones, bring them to the bottom, and then tell your spectator you are going to turn over the face down card, the first one. And guys, this is your 3. That's a part of your setup. You would say, okay, depending on this value, you're going to deal that many cards onto the table and turn the last one face up. So you still have the deck here. You'd say you would go 1, 2, and 3, and you can say something like, okay, hopefully when you do it, the face-up card is your selection. So after you've given the demonstration, you're going to take these cards, just place them right on the bottom, and hand the deck over to your spectator, and they're ready to begin. And you can see here you have your setup 6 right on top of the deck. Your spectator obviously does not know that, and they are going to go ahead and do your what you just told them. They're going to cut around a third, turn them face up, cut even deeper into the deck, turn these cards face up. Make sure they do that correctly, though, because the trick will not work if they screw that part up. You're then going to spread out the cards face up. Actually, your spectator's going to be doing this, right? The deck's in their hands. They're going to take these cards, just place them on the bottom. They're going to place the face down card, the first one, face up. It's going to be that 6 because of the force. And lastly, they are then going to deal out 6 cards, and they're going to turn the last one face up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You'll see the 6th card, the one they turn face up, will be their selection because of your setup that you did at the start of the trick. Your spectator is going to be completely blown away. This one does get some great reactions, guys. I definitely recommend you give it a try. Make sure you get comfortable with the crimp, because it is very important you correctly cut the deck at that point in the trick to get the crimp card to the bottom, and then you proceed with the trick from there. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in my next one. Peace out.